Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Warriors show interest in star Jaren Jackson Jr. Jackson has been a power forward for most of his career, but at 6'2" and named NBA Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, Golden State would likely test him as a five-way player alongside Draymond Green in the frontcourt. In the wake of Desmond Bane's shock move to the Orlando Magic on Sunday, Jaren Jackson Jr. is the latest player doing the rounds as a potential trade target for the Golden State Warriors and others around the NBA. But even if Jackson is available to rival teams, the Warriors will face no shortage of competitors vying for a talented 25-year-old who can impact on both ends of the floor. However, Golden State's precarious position of being built around a core of 35-plus-year-old players may be exactly why they have a leg up on their rivals in a potential Jackson chase. Warriors can offer an enticing package for Jaren Jackson Jr. Much of the reason the Magic were willing to offload 4 first-round picks and 1 pick swap for Bane is because they're confident that with him, Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs, there's little risk in those picks conveying into something truly substantial. The Warriors don't have that luxury with a 37-year-old Stephen Curry and 35-year-olds in Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. That makes Golden State's future picks enticing and far more valuable than others around the league, which combined with talented youngsters Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, could see them enter the conversation with an offer such as this. Asterisk deal involves a Kuminga sign-and trade that sees the young forward get a 3-year contract starting at $25 million next season. Golden State Warriors receive Jaren Jackson Jr., John Konchar. Memphis Grizzlies receive Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody. 2026 first-round pick. 2029 plus 2031 first-round picks. It's worth noting that Golden State could go further than this by adding Brandon Podziemski and/or multiple pick swaps, but such a package would probably be saved for a true superstar like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Jackson was ranked as the Los Angeles Lakers' top trade target by Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report last month, yet the Warriors should have no trouble outbidding their Pacific rival if the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year becomes available. Would Memphis prefer Golden State's future first-round picks, or that of Los Angeles, who now have a 26-year-old future cornerstone in Luka Doncic? The Lakers only have 1 first-round pick to trade anyway, and even if they were willing to move Austin Reeves, the complications around his extension probably makes him less valuable than what some may think to a team already with Ja Morant. Those currently in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes, the Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs, Miami Heat etc. could pivot if they miss out on the former Warrior forward, but they may also keep their powder dry for an Antetokounmpo hunt further down the line. The point is, don't underestimate the value of Golden State's future first-round picks, and what the franchise may be able to get if they're willing to put them on the table. Whether the Warriors will do that, and whether Jackson does indeed become available, is another story entirely. Warriors predicted to make big trade this offseason. The Golden State Warriors made a blockbuster trade in February, acquiring 6-time All-Star Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat. On February 6, the day the Warriors acquired Butler, Steph Curry and company lost to the Los Angeles Lakers, dropping to 25-26 on the season. Golden State, though, went on a run after Butler made his Dubs debut, going 23-7. The Warriors finished the season as the 7th seed in the Western Conference and played the Houston Rockets in the first round of the 2025 postseason. Behind Curry and Butler, the Warriors beat the Rockets in 7 games. However, the Minnesota Timberwolves defeated Golden State in the second round in 5 games. Curry got hurt in Game 1 of the conference semifinals and missed the rest of the series. Butler, Curry, and Draymond Green are expected to be the Warriors' core next season. What about Jonathan Kuminga, though? He was the 3rd leading scorer on Golden State this season, averaging 15.3 points in 47 games. The Warriors control Kuminga's future since the forward becomes a restricted free agent this summer. The team can either re-sign Kuminga or execute a sign-and-trade deal. NBA insider Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report thinks Golden State does the latter. Prediction: the Warriors find a sign-and trade with a mystery team, Pincus wrote. Kuminga turns 23 in October. He has career averages of 12.5 points, 4.0 rebounds, and 1.8 assists with the Warriors. According to Anthony Slater of The Athletic, Kuminga has visions of becoming an all-star. That may not be possible in Golden State since the team has Curry and Butler. Kuminga, league sources said, still has visions of becoming an all-star, not fitting into an ever-moving mid-tier rotation role. He wants to be a featured player in an NBA offense and chase the 20-point and beyond dreams he's spent his life chasing and the last week of his fourth season tasting, Slater wrote. How Kevin Durant's trade dilemma affects Warriors star Jonathan Kuminga. A new report reveals the Kevin Durant trade saga is impacting Jonathan Kuminga's future. Forward Kevin Durant are seemingly ready to part ways at any point this offseason, with reports that a trade is expected to happen before the NBA draft kicks off on June 25. However, as trade talks take longer than expected, the league is at a standstill, waiting to see what will happen. Of course, many teams who have expressed interest in Durant have to prepare for the reality that they may not be adding a 15-time All-Star, future Hall of Famer, to their lineup. So, one of the top free agents on the market, Jonathan Kuminga, could be an intriguing piece to many. Kuminga is set to his restricted free agency, and the Warriors have reportedly been looking at sign-and-trade options to find the 22-year-old forward a new home. However, teams may be waiting for Durant's dilemma to play out before making a decision on Kuminga. A new report from Mark Stein and Jake Fisher on the Stein line reveals that Kuminga's future is clouded by the uncertainty of Durant's. The immediate future of Golden State's Jonathan Kuminga would appear to be even more clouded by Durant uncertainty than DeRozan's, Stein and Fisher wrote. Kuminga, of course, will soon become a restricted free agent. There have been no tangible rumblings to this point that Brooklyn, which is the NBA's lone team on course to have significant salary cap space this summer, has plans to pursue Kuminga with the Nets' projected $55 million in operating room. Trying to forecast sign-and-trade scenarios that could potentially materialize for the bouncy 22-year-old swingman will thus be difficult to pinpoint until Durant's situation is settled. Maybe Miami, for example, would make a sign-and-trade run at Kuminga in the event that the Heat don't win the trade race to acquire the league's number 8 all-time leading scorer. Sources say Miami has registered a level of interest in Kuminga in previous transaction cycles. Of course, Kuminga could always return to Golden State if they are willing to dig deep into their pockets for a player coming off a rocky situation with head coach Steve Kerr. Warriors free agency news: must consider this free agent who just became available. The Golden State Warriors have an interesting offseason ahead of them. Lots of recent Warriors rumors are surrounding their options moving forward with Jonathan Kuminga, or if they can try and trade for another impact player. Regardless of what big moves the Warriors are or aren't able to make, they need to win some of their smaller moves. One potentially Warriors free agent target that needs to be on the team's radar just became available as a result of the Desmond Bane trade. Because of the Orlando Magic's Desmond Bane trade, the team has declined Gary Harris's team option for next season. Harris will now enter the free agency market. Harris should be on the short list of Warriors free agent targets. Harris is a known knockdown shooter who had a very limited role in Orlando last season. He could take a short, veteran minimum contract to try and redeem his value around the league. The Warriors did a similar thing with Dante DiVincenzo and Otto Porter Jr. They got them on a great deal when their value was low and got one great season out of them. Harris could be their next restoration project. Harris is a near 37% three-point shooter for his career. He has also been a decent defender throughout his career. At only 30 years old, the Warriors could use a younger veteran like him on their bench. Harris hasn't had the best injury history lately, which needs to be considered. The Warriors can't rely on him to play most of the regular season. Still, if the team wants to take a flyer on a player that could be a perfect fit, Gary Harris needs to be on the Warriors free agent target list. Warriors could acquire $3 million x-76ers guard to help Stephen Curry join exclusive club. Elite perimeter shooting will always be a plus in the Golden State Warriors' three-point-oriented offense led by Stephen Curry. Milwaukee Bucks head coach Doc Rivers believes that the Warriors could acquire a former Philadelphia 76ers sharpshooter to help Curry join an exclusive club. "I actually think the perfect place for him, Seth Curry, would be Golden State," Rivers said on the Bill Simmons podcast Tuesday. "I don't know if it's possible or not. I don't know if either one of them, Steven or Seth, would want it actually. But I do think it has nothing to do with the fact they are brothers. The way they play, he fits perfect. I've said that for 2 or 3 years. And whenever you bring it up in the family, they kind of moan. But I do think it'd be sensational. If the Curry clan were to team up in the Bay, they would land on a short list of NBA brothers to play on the same team." Both players enjoyed successful 2024-25 campaigns with their respective franchises. While Seth contributed only 6.5 points per game with the Hornets, he shot a league-leading 45.6% from long range, improving his career three-point shooting percentage to 43.3%. Steven secured his 13th consecutive 20-plus points per game season, shot 39.7% from downtown, and guided the Warriors to a first-round playoff win over the Houston Rockets. A Grade 1 hamstring strain ended Curry and the Warriors' season in the Western Conference semifinals. Still, the four-time NBA champion guard proved he's still a Tier 1 to 2 NBA superstar in his late 30s. By acquiring the younger Curry, who's set to be an unrestricted free agent, from the Hornets, the Warriors could form a dynamic three-point shooting backcourt capable of lighting it up nightly. Golden State should undoubtedly consider Rivers' free agent signing idea. Warriors predicted to land ideal stretch big man from longtime rival in this trade. The Golden State Warriors are going to need to get creative this offseason. They are hampered by the new salary cap regulations, and making trades will be very difficult. One possible workaround is a Warriors sign-and trade. Most Warriors trade rumors have spoken about a Jonathan Kuminga sign-and trade, but in this trade proposal, a different Warrior would be on the way out. The Warriors trade idea from @BallReportX on Twitter is as follows. Warriors receive Santi Aldama, sign and trade, 3 years $37.8 million. Grizzlies receive Derek Whitehead, Keon Johnson, and a 2026 FRP swap via GS. Nets receive Moses Moody. This could be a perfect trade for the Warriors. Depending on how you view Moses Moody, Aldama could be a significant upgrade. Aldama averaged 12.5 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.9 assists last season. Moody, on the other hand, averaged 9.8 points, 2.6 rebounds, and 1.3 assists. Moody is a slightly better three-point shooter, whereas Aldama is much better from the field in general. Where Aldama shines over Moody is as a ball handler and playmaker, and with his size on the glass. However, Moody's defense brings a lot more value to the table than Aldama's. Moody is a couple of years younger and significantly more athletic than Aldama. Aldama is without a doubt a better offensive piece, but the Warriors really need Moody's wing defense. That's why this Warriors-Aldama sign-and trade just doesn't cut it for us. Getting Aldama on the team would be amazing, but is he that much more valuable than Moody? The Warriors need to bet on Moody's improvement and defense and say no to this Warriors trade idea. Warriors named among favorites to sign former Thunder, Lakers guard in free agency. The Golden State Warriors enter the offseason looking to build around their veteran trio as they try to become championship contenders next season. Golden State's season ended in disappointment in the second round of the playoffs as they lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games after Stephen Curry suffered a hamstring injury in Game 1. Now the Warriors will look to upgrade their roster around their aging trio of Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green as they try to compete for another championship next season. Of course, Golden State has a limited amount of cap space to use to sign players in free agency, and they also have to decide on what to do with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, especially after he fell out of Steve Kerr's rotation at the end of the season. One area the Warriors do need to improve on is the backup point guard position to upgrade their second unit, and they have been named as a favorite to land a former Los Angeles Lakers and Oklahoma City Thunder guard in free agency. According to Bovada, the Warriors have the 4th best odds, plus 750, to sign Russell Westbrook in free agency this offseason. The Miami Heat are the favorite, plus 260, to land the former MVP winner, and they are followed by the Dallas Mavericks, plus 325, and Sacramento Kings, plus 500. Westbrook is coming off a solid season with the Denver Nuggets as he was able to bounce back after a couple of disappointing seasons with both the Lakers and Los Angeles Clippers. This season, the 36-year-old guard averaged 13.3 points, 4.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists and 1.4 steals per game while shooting 44.9% from the field and 32.3% from three. With the Warriors needing a backup point guard, Westbrook would be a great addition to their second unit, and they also may be able to sign him to a cheap contract. Despite this, there should be multiple teams interested in adding the former MVP winner this offseason that could also offer Westbrook a larger contract than Golden State.